Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is CinemaHistoria. A gambler with 3 orphans, 2 lunkheads, and a large fortune in gold. This week we're going back to 1975 for a comedy western film that I saw at the show when it came out, The Apple Dumpling Gang. Starring Bill Bixby, Susan Clark, Don Knotts, Tim Conway, and Harry Morgan. And this is directed by Norman Tokar. So where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins in Quake City, a dusty town in the Wild West in the year 1879. A slick gambler named Russell Donovan, played by Bill Bixby, comes to the town of Quake City en route to open a casino in New Orleans. Stopping at the Fair Play Saloon for a game of poker, he meets his old associate John Wintle, who is leaving for San Francisco. John gives Donovan $5 to sign for valuables coming in on the next day's stagecoach. Accepting the down payment, he promises to pick them up. The next day, the Butterfly stagecoach arrives with Dusty Clydesdale, played by Susan Clark, at the reins, much to a surprise Donovan. You see, he realizes he's been duped in taking care of 3 little orphans named Bobby, Clovis, and Celia Bradley. Dusty explains that Wintle is in fact their relative and legal guardian, and with him gone and Donovan promising to take care of the valuables, they are now his responsibility. The town sheriff, barber, justice of the peace, and judge, Homer McCoy, played by Harry Morgan, tells him that he is legally obligated unless he can have someone else take custody. With offered a cabin to stay, the children cause Donovan much grief, including riding in an old mine cart, destroying much private property, costing Donovan most of his funds for his trip to New Orleans. Donovan also becomes the target of Amos Tucker, played by Tim Conway, and Theodore Ogilvy, played by Don Knotts, former members of the Stillwell gang who continuously try to rob him during his stay in town with unsuccessful results. The children decide to help Donovan earn money by going to the old Commodore mine, a gold mine they inherited. After mistaking them for a posse at their hideout, Amos and Theodore direct the children to the mine. The children discover a massive gold nugget in the mine, which incentivizes the locals to adopt them, as it would give them access to the gold. So, does Donovan arrange a sham marriage with Dusty so he can keep custody of the children? At the same time, do Amos and Theodore attempt another amateur robbery? Does the Stillwell gang enter town with plans to steal the nugget? Or does Wintle return, renouncing his guardianship? Released July 1st, 1975, the film is based on the 1971 novel of the same name by American author Jack M. Bickham, who wrote 75 published novels. It is also known as being the first film to feature the comedy duo of Don Knotts and Tim Conway. The film was a hit at the box office, earning $13.5 million in theatrical rentals, and user reviews comments, one of Disney's best live-action films, a sweet family picture, an adorable old-school Disney. And that it is, and I did another old-school Disney film on my channel, Old Yeller from 1957. Please click the link below. I think you would enjoy that one. And our trivia question this week: was this the last cinema film for someone who starred in this movie? Was this the last cinema film for someone who starred in this movie? So, a little more history, the answer to our trivia question, coming up next. Our film story involves a gold find in 1879. Was there a real gold discovery during this time? Yes, the Black Hills Gold Rush, making it the subject of this week's history. So the Black Hills Gold Rush took place in Dakota Territory in the United States between 1874 and 1879. The Black Hills Gold Rush began in 1874 when Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer led a group of over 1,000 men from Fort Abraham Lincoln in Dakota Territory to the Black Hills, which is present-day Bismarck, North Dakota. There had long been rumors of gold, so Custer and his 7th Cavalry were tasked with finding a suitable location for an army fort, investigated the area's natural resources to see if the rumors were true. They were indeed, as gold was discovered in French Creek, just outside the town that would eventually be named after Custer. This prompted a dispatch, the news being carried by a courier to Fort Laramie, Wyoming, and telegraphed to the press. And just like that, the Black Hills Gold Rush was on. Slim pickings prompted them to branch out to the northern hills, and their fortunes took a turn when significant amounts of gold were found in Deadwood Gulch. This was placer gold, loose pieces mixed in with rock and dirt in Deadwood and Whitewood Creeks. On April 9, 1876, brothers Fred and Moses Manuel, along with Hank Harney and Alex Eng, discovered a sizable vein of gold-bearing ore near present-day Lead, South Dakota. This turned out to be the veritable mother lode deposit feeding the placer gold in the creeks. They staked their claim and named it the Home Stake Mine, selling it to a group of out-of-state investors, including George Hearst, the following year for $70,000. Their discovery would end up being the most significant gold vein in American history, supplying 10% of the world's supply of gold over the next 125 years, and yielding over 40 million ounces of gold valued at more than $1 billion. In 1880, the richest placer deposits had been depleted, and attention turned to hard rock mining. Only the mighty Homestake survived and prospered, eventually closing down in 2002 due to rising production costs. And the Black Hills Gold Rush spirit still lives on to this day, spotting the occasional panner working the streams, inspired by the same fever that drove thousands of men to the Black Hills more than a century ago. Pretty interesting. And the answer to our trivia question this week, was this the last cinema film for someone who starred in this movie? Yes. This movie marks the last cinema film for American actor and television director Bill Bixby, who plays Russell Donovan in our film. The son of a sales clerk and department store owner, Bill Bixby was the 6th-generation Californian born as Wilford Bailey Bixby on January 22, 1934 in San Francisco, California. His career spanned more than 3 decades, including appearances on stage, in films, and on television series. He is known for his roles in CBS's My Favorite Martian from 1963 to 1966, ABC's The Courtship of Eddie's Father from 1969 to 1972, and one of my favorites, CBS science fiction drama series, The Incredible Hulk, as Dr. David Bruce Banner. This popular series ran 80 episodes, plus 5 TV movies from 1977 to 1982. He also starred in one of my favorite Elvis films, Speedway, in 1968. I'd like to give a big thank you to my viewers and subscribers. Oh, sounds like trouble brewing. Better go. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon.